And what's cracking, you guys? Happy Friday to each and every one of you. I know you're probably like, Crusher, really? Happy Friday. Uh, hey, there's volatility in this market, and for as long as there's volatility, there is money to be made. If you are a trader, okay, if you are a trader, volatility, I keep saying this, is the lifeblood of these markets. For as long as there's volatility, there's a trade there somewhere for you to take advantage of. So keep your eyes open, keep your biases at bay. Now, speaking of biases, let's talk about the bullish bias and the bearish bias. If I really had to ask you guys, bull market or bear market, what would you say to me? What was the first thing that you do to actually come to a conclusion on that? Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to assess all of the information in front of you, right? If you're someone, tell me, Krisha, I'm just playing the probabilities right here. And the way I see it, well, we're heading into the end of the 4-year cycle, right? And probabilistically, historically, the 4-year cycle now has worked out every single time. All right, that's fine. Okay, if you're playing the probabilities on the 4-year cycle, all well and good. Are you wrong to play the probability on that? Absolutely not. But if we're playing probabilities here, you got to consider all of the information, all of the objective systems across the board to help you with a more informed decision. If we are playing probabilities here, well, XRP has had systems, bull market systems, that have kept us on the right side of the trend through the past cycles now. So if we're playing the probabilities, you gotta look at that as well. So let's talk about the bearish case on the 4-year cycle coming to an end. For those of you who are unaware of the 4-year cycle, here's the observation. The markets move in 4-year cycles. Now, on Bitcoin's chart, this is how it's gone. In 3 out of the 4 years, that's bull run territory. Okay, the last year is bear market territory. And this has been true from the cycles of 2011 all the way to 2015, from the cycle of 2015 all the way to 2018, from the cycle of 2018 all the way to 2022, and once again, we're right here, 2023 onward to 2026. All right, so now if we're assuming that, hey, the bull run starts off with the first 3 years, we're looking for the top to come in 1 year before. So for us, that would be the year 2025, which is this year, which is why you guys are hearing a lot of buzz on the 4-year cycle. The 4-year cycle is coming to an end. And probabilistically, yeah, it's hell true. I mean, I just showed you. But if we are considering this, then we got to consider the rest of it as well. Now, for bull run marker number 1, Bitcoin on the biweekly dynamic support, which has kept us in the entire trade since the beginning, right here in April of 2023. If you've been riding this entire trend with us, Sean posted this on his Twitter, he posted this on Discord. Well, guess what? Even now, after the pullback, you're still up a good 290% on this trend trade. But the key observation here is Bitcoin has not broken the biweekly dynamic support just yet. In fact, historically, through this entire zone, every single tap of the biweekly has actually been a buy the dip opportunity. That's where every rally has started from for Bitcoin. Now, why am I going over Bitcoin's chart first? That's because it's going to dictate what happens to the XRP as well. Okay, Bitcoin is the index of the crypto market. For as long as Bitcoin stays within its bull run parameter, the altcoins, XRP included, can still see a reignition of the trend. But before I give you guys the juice on that, I want to tell you guys about the sick bonus campaign that's happening on BitUnix right now. And it's really simple. Look at this as free money in the corner of the room for you to express your trade ideas without putting too much risk on the table. Okay, so the way this one works, okay, this too is a deposit bonus campaign. If you look towards the left table for various deposit amounts, which is 500, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, and 10,000, you get a certain trading bonus for those deposits. So literally for a 500 USDT deposit, they're giving you 100 USDT to trade with, guys. Okay, this is a great freaking deal. That's 20% of your equity just back in your pocket. Okay, the only thing you got to do to get the 100 USDT is first, of course, deposit 500 and put on your first trade. Now, the size of your trade, guys, does not matter. Okay, you could be taking on a $10 position. All right, all you got to do is deposit 500 and trade once. That's it. And they're going to give you a free $100 to trade with. Think of how powerful this is, because in case the trade goes against you, well, guess what? You're not losing your money, you're losing the house's money. So make sure to take advantage of this. If you're looking to put on the next trade, I will be linking it in the description below, okay? Which brings me to bullish point number 2, XRP against the biweekly dynamic support. Once again, guys, this has been holding the macro trend up. Now, I had taken my trend trade off the weekly dynamic support. Now, as many of you guys know who've been following my videos, that broke. So based on my rules, I had to exit a part of my position. So currently, I'm only left with 50% of my original XRP position. As far as XRP's bull run signature is concerned, that hasn't broken just yet. Sean had brought up the biweekly dynamic support to everyone's attention, and as you can see right here, we're still holding it. And if you're playing the probabilities of the Fourier system, you have to consider the probability of this system as well. And so far, every single bull run, it's actually held true. The biweekly dynamic support is often where the buyers step in. It's often where price has caught a bid only to continue the bull run. It did it back in 2017 and also back here in 2021. And even on this cycle, every single tap of the biweekly dynamic support was picked up by the buyers. Every single tap. So this is still a point in the bullish court, guys. For those of you who won the numbers on the biweekly dynamic support, go ahead and take note of it. $2.32 going all the way down to $2.19. For those of you who do not want to wait on me to give you guys the levels as they move dynamically with every print, well, then you'll find the dynamic on the mangoway.com/dynamic. Okay, this is specifically for those of you who have much bigger positions on XRP and you guys want to stay in the know. Now, this right here is the final point of decision. Now, you can consider this as being bullish. You can also consider this as being bearish. But I'm going to tell you what I see right now and what I want to see getting into month end. Now, the previous month of October closed of the 10 simple moving average. Now, I'm calling it the golden level because historically, this too has played out like a dream. For as long as XRP lives over the monthly dynamic support, A-okay. Okay. However, when it does start breaking, that often screams caution. Now, the month of October did close over the monthly 10 simple moving average, which was great. However, this month, while we are sitting on the biweekly dynamic support, it appears that XRP is currently stuck between a rock and a hard place. And why do I say that? Because getting into month end, I want to see this candle start closing over the monthly 10 simple moving average. Now, this level has actually moved down a quite bit. It's come down to $2.42 when previously it was sitting at $2.50. So for as long as this month of November can close over $2.42, I'm saying that probabilistically, if we're playing the probabilities, XRP's bull run still has a chance of resurrection. XRP can still rally and continue its bull run. Because notice at that point, not only would we have defended the biweekly dynamic support, but we would have also defended the monthly 10 simple moving average. It's important that we do both, specifically the monthly. Now, I get it. Right now, everyone is fearful, but I have a question for you. How often has everyone been right all at once? That happens very, very rarely. And the one critical, reflective question I want you guys to ask yourself is if everyone is bearish right here, especially on XRP. Honestly, I still think XRP is holding up better than most coins, especially on XRP. If everyone is freaking bearish here and everyone thinks this is going to be a bear market, okay, who the hell is buying here? Okay, for price to be holding up this well, someone is coming in to be a buyer, right? Not often do you see everyone is on the same boat and they're all right heading for freaking Valhalla. Employ a bit of critical thinking. If you're considering the probabilities of various systems, you got to consider all of them. And then ultimately, you can put a weighting on each of these things, right? But don't isolate on just one, saying that I'm putting the probabilities on this, but you know what, that's worked out well too. That's worked out really well, actually, but I'm just going to ignore that. Don't do that. Now, for those of you who want to keep up with the XRP story, make sure you're hitting the sub. And of course, if there's any adverse movements that happen throughout the day, we will be following it on the Discord chat. So come on in, join the Discord chat. I will now see you guys in there. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, you guys.